Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help because voters...
All right, folks, it finally happened. After years of Whoopi Goldberg shutting down conservative voices, dismissing guests like they were beneath her, and treating The View like her personal kingdom, she finally met her match. But this wasn't just any debate. It was a complete public takedown. Karoline Leavitt didn't just challenge Whoopi, she exposed her hypocrisy in front of millions, leaving the entire panel speechless for the first time in history. And now, the backlash is
I think she's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
She's absolutely insane. ABC executives are scrambling, rumors of major firings are spreading like wildfire, and Whoopi, well, she might just be on her way out for good. So, what exactly did Karoline say that left Whoopi humiliated on live TV? You don't want to miss this. But first, hit that like button and subscribe for more uncensored takedowns and explosive political showdowns. Did you just subscribe? Awesome, let's get into it. The whole disaster started when Whoopi, Joy Behar, and the rest of the View panel decided they were going to lecture Karoline Leavitt on wokeness. And as expected, things got ugly fast. Whoopi...
I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good. So good. In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the modern...
With her signature smugness, rolled her eyes. Joy Behar, never one to miss an opportunity for a snarky remark, threw in one of her classics. So now we're judging women based on their looks? The irony was off the charts.
The most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world. You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and sex and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
These are the same women who claim to champion female empowerment, until, of course, the woman in question happens to be conservative. Then, suddenly, it's open season for mockery, belittlement, and personal attacks. But Karoline? She didn't flinch. She didn't back down. She looked Whoopi dead in the eye and fired back. Whoopi, do you even hear yourself? You sit up here preaching about women's empowerment, yet the moment a conservative woman succeeds, you claim it's because of her looks? That is the real sexism. Boom. Silence. The audience froze. Even Joy Behar, the queen of interruptions, was suddenly at a loss for words. But Karoline wasn't done. Wokeness isn't about equality. It's a political weapon used to silence those who disagree. And Whoopi, you prove it every single day on this show.
Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 na, 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 na.
Right.
That's what you hear. Yeah. When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say, they talk at you, not to you. And that's what she was doing. And she was doing it, and it's not new.
No.
But everybody's hip to you all now.
Yeah.
And we are anticipating that you are not prepared. Because you keep saying you going and you preparing when you're on the trail.
No. The gasps from the audience were audible. Social media erupted within minutes. Hashtags like Mao Whoopi exposed and Wash Karoline owns The View started trending nationwide. And ABC? Well, they were in full damage control mode. Because what happened next only made things worse. Behind the scenes, ABC executives were in a full-blown crisis. Reports started leaking that producers were furious with Whoopi. Sponsors were growing nervous. Even some of The View's most loyal viewers started questioning their support. And then the real bombshell dropped. Whoopi Goldberg was mysteriously absent from the next episode. And ABC's official statement, Whoopi is taking time to reflect on recent
that you saw live on this program yesterday. Joy Behar stirring the pot of controversy after saying this about Karoline.
She's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Do you want to take this?
So you cannot be attractive and smart? I will try to give Joy the benefit of, oh, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing. Because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark. Because Karoline Leavitt worked, I mean, she went to St. Anselm College, she worked for WMUR
Ran for
TV.
Congress?
In New Hampshire, she ran for Congress at the age of 25, put out a very good campaign. She lost by 8 or 9 points, but she still put on a good campaign. Then she was the press secretary for the Trump campaign, going on TV literally every day.
Well, heavily pregnant and a new mom.
Pregnant. Yeah, she's a new mother. And then she goes out yesterday and gives an... And this, again, this is speaking very objectively, because I've watched every press secretary since going back to Marlon Fitzwater. Yeah, I'm that old. And she went out there for her very first briefing at the age of 27 years old, the youngest press secretary ever, and did a terrific job of
discussions. Yeah, right. We all know what that means. Whoopi Goldberg, the face of The View, was suddenly on the chopping block. But the fallout didn't stop there. In fact, at this point, the writing is on the wall. ABC is now facing a serious decision. Do they clean house and finally bring some balance to The View, or do they double down and risk total cancellation? Because, let's be real, this show survives on controversy. It thrives on heated debates, viral moments, and political clashes that keep audiences engaged, whether they love it or hate it. But when the backlash becomes bigger than the ratings, boost, it's game over. And right now, they are walking a very fine line. Advertisers are already backing away. And that's a death sentence for any television program. In an industry where ad revenue dictates survival, when major sponsors pull out, networks have no choice but to pay attention. Once credibility is damaged, it's nearly impossible to regain. The viewers who once tuned in religiously are either
This young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason, because Black people couldn't get into colleges, because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women.
Yeah.
See, this is not Black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was
losing interest or actively boycotting the show. Social media is ablaze with calls for reform or outright cancellation. And Let's not forget, ABC itself has been under fire for how it handles controversies. This isn't just about one moment or one controversy anymore. It's about a pattern of behavior that audiences are growing tired of. The View has long been a lightning rod for political.
Add one last thing. What was interesting to me is Dan Rather weighed in on X, and he said he compared our time now to the Nixon era, which was a little scary for me. But he said, enough with both sides-ism. When one side lies intentionally and repeatedly, they are no longer entitled to the benefit of the doubt.
And we should keep in mind, too, that the people that need to hear this are the people who are running the networks that are okaying this. Because this idea, it's like they say to you now, you can only work within this perimeter. But if the facts are not clear to people, that was what a journalist was there to do, to say, in fact, this is what went on and this is how we checked. Now, we've been given doubts that people don't know how to do this. The media has pretty much always been
arguments, but at what point does the drama outweigh the entertainment value? For years, critics have accused the show of being one-sided, more of an echo chamber than a true debate forum.